In the history of challenge runs, there have been a lot of bad ideas. But one of the worst has to be, can you beat Star Trek Elite Force with only the hand phaser? If this is your first video in the series that you've watched, you might think I'm exaggerating, but the last video was a complete and total nightmare, like trying to hide the games on your phone from a friend's child. I don't want their grubby little fingers on my phone draining my battery. I'm sorry, just get them an iPad. But we were stuck on the last challenge for well over an hour on just half of a level. So this video is going to be the second part of the Borg cube level. Now in case you haven't seen the other videos, the basis of this challenge is that I can only use the hand phaser to damage enemies. Now this is a major problem on this level because the Borg drones adapted to my phaser and I can't damage them anymore. So all the enemies must be defeated by environmental damage or my allies, who are terrible and can't shoot the broadside of a barn. On the plus side though, they do seem to be invulnerable. So this video will continue on my run to complete the Borg cube level and then also the Species 8472 invasion. Now if you noticed, I barely made it past the last zone. And I'm starting here with 1 HP, which means my highest priority is going to be to find a health power-up before I catch a stray Borg shot. Now I'm going to try to use my friends as human shields. Don't worry, I don't think they mind. Sorry guys, I wish I could help, but, you know, they adapted to my weapon. Hey, 7 of 9, I'd appreciate it if you stopped making that creepy noise, thank you. So I definitely don't think this is how the devs intended the game to be played, but there's not really anything else I can do at the moment. Before I forget, I just want to say, if you enjoy these videos, please feel free to leave a like or subscribe. It helps the channel and I'd appreciate it. If you didn't like this video, please feel free to leave a personal attack on me in the comments. Thank you. You see our old friend, the blue Borg drone? My best bet here is just going to be to run around and hopefully kite the enemies long enough for my friends to take them out before I take too much damage. I think there are 2 health pickups in the area, so I need to find those as well. The iMod kinda makes a cool noise when it fires. Good work, devs. Come on, guys. Hurry up and clear out the area. You might be amazed to learn that even after running in circles here for about 10 minutes, I still had no idea where I was. Unfortunately, this area just isn't going to be as exciting as the other areas, as I just have to keep running away again and again and again. But I really want to complete this challenge legitimately, and if what it takes is me running around in circles for 30 minutes, then so be it.
Say you're intact.
It looks like I'm missing one of my team members. Oh, there he is. I guess he was tired of me using him as a human shield. You know what, Chang? Really, only one member of this group can run around and be useless, and we already got me doing that, so get to work, bud. Come on, buddy. It's safe now, don't worry. Yeah, I thought about it, but it seemed a little too risky. So this part of the run was more tedious than difficult. Just a lot of running around maze-like corridors until my allies defeated the drones, and me trying to take as little damage as I can. I feel like if we survived and got back to the ship, all my team members would file official complaints against me and try to get me court-martialed for just being completely useless on the mission and putting their lives in danger for absolutely no reason. Well, I guess I kind of deserve that. It's very important that I keep moving and I avoid getting trapped or cornered by the Borg drones. So of course the first thing I do is immediately repeat my mistake. It seems like if you go to a position where the Borg drones can't path to you, their AI just turns off, but my allies are still able to damage them. I'm going to try to use that later to my advantage.
Say you're intact.
Now, I vaguely remember this part of the game. I know that 7 of 9 has to put her hand inside that terminal, so I need to get my allies down here, but I would like for them to clean up all the Borg drones on their levels first before I bring them down. It'd be really nice if my phaser did even a tiny bit of damage, even if it was very negligible, just so I could feel like I was doing something. So I guess this cutscene is scripted in a way where I have to defeat all the waves of enemies and get all the NPCs down there with me before it will begin. So I guess we have to go back upstairs now and clear all these waves of Borg drones. It seems like Chang is still on the second level, so at least he's being useful and taking pot shots at all the drones up there. 7 of 9 and Jarrah don't seem to be doing a whole lot. My thinking was that I could trick my allies on going to the second floor by themselves, and maybe they could engage the enemies without me having to risk taking any damage. Let's see if it works. So this ends up just being like 2 or 3 minutes of me going up and down elevators with my allies until they finally kill all the enemies, so let's just skip that and not bore you any more than you have to be. Is it cowardly that I just trapped my allies downstairs by themselves with all the Borg drones? What the heck was that?
Get down. Keep down.
Alright, so we finally made it to the cutscene.
Primary sub-processing matrix.
Whoa, what are you doing?
I should be able to download useful information.
Oh boy, another few minutes of running around circles while my terrible allies shoot at Borg drones. This is great.
Keep down. Watch out.
I was very briefly worried that I wouldn't be able to get past this part. Usually you can just shoot a grenade in there or an explosive and it'll take out that little node, but with only a hand phaser, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to damage it and move past this part. I thought for sure that this was going to be the end of the challenge, and what a stupid way to end it. If you'll notice, one of my allies just tried to shoot me in the back.
Say you're intact.
There's another one. How many are there? Get down.
The guys that shoot the lightning are so annoying, because unlike the green plasma guys, you can't really dodge it, it moves too fast. Your best bet is just to get out of range of them.
There's another one. Watch out.
I gotta be honest though, in all my running in circles around this map, the developers did a really good job at making this look like the inside of a Borg vessel. So I guess there was a very tiny angle in which my phaser could get through and destroy that node, so I guess the run isn't over yet. So yeah, I don't really feel like fighting a whole nother way with these guys, so I'm just going to try to run through and skip this part. So I really didn't even remember this part from the last time I played the game. It didn't seem to be that difficult, but with only a hand phaser, this is going to prove to be the major challenge of this section of the level, and it was definitely a nightmare. So you can already see that there are areas that trigger enemy spawns when you go through. Normally this wouldn't be that big of a deal, but there's an elevator in this section that you have to get to, but for it to move, all of your NPC allies have to be on it. So this is going to be a major problem. So I actually checked the timing of this while editing the video. I'm going to be stuck here for the next 16 minutes. I'm going to edit that down because a lot of these tries are kind of boring, but this was really frustrating and really difficult. I'll leave a few of the attempts in so you can see just what the problem was. So I was hoping I could just run through and skip this part, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be possible because for the elevator to trigger, my allies must be there. So I'm going to have to fight through every single one of these Borg drones to get there. There's not a lot of good places for me to hide here, and I only have 32 health, so I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get past this part. It's going to be pretty tough. I thought maybe I could just use my allies to body block for me, but that's not really 100% effective. Sometimes the shots get through and damage me, and I don't have enough health to just sit there and tank it. My next thought was that I could just use the pathing to my advantage and just jump back and forth between places the Borg drones can't go. Of course, the problem with this is that I'm off by even a little bit, and I fall into the gas down there and die instantly. I was hoping I could use that elevator, but it's not actually working. It's just a prop at this point. I thought if I could hide here, maybe the collision on these pieces of cover would stop the shots from hitting me, but that was only partially effective. Man, that is a lot of enemies. Every time I jump over that, I'm risking dying, so I want to do it as little as possible if I can. So I thought what I would do here, instead of showing every single attempt, is just show some of the funnier deaths. I thought I was pretty clever here. If I hide in this little spot, maybe the Borg drones won't be able to path to me, and they'll stop attacking. So here's a run where I actually get through. Now, as an act of mercy to you, the viewer, I put this at 2 times speed because this just took forever. Yep, you just saw that correctly. After all of that, I walked off the edge and died. Fortunately, I'm not 100% stupid, and I quick saved right before that, so I don't have to do that entire bit again, because that would have been a nightmare, and I probably would have just turned off my computer. For some reason, it took like 2 minutes for that elevator to work, so I just cut that bit out. Well, 7 of 9, looks like you're on your own for a bit. Sorry.
Get down. Get down. Keep down. Get down. Watch out.
Intruder.
Yeah, I prefer the safety of up here and just let the NPCs go down there by themselves and take care of the threat. Sorry. This elevator part lasted a lot longer than I remember it being.
There's another one. Watch out.
I think they jammed up the elevator.
What is that?
The beacon. It is the hub through which all Borg thoughts are processed and organized. It creates order out of chaos.
You can't trust a Borg. They've double-crossed us before.
That may be so, but the isodesium is beyond the area of infestation. I would have had to go through it anyway.
Still, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't trust Borg.
It's kind of a rude thing to say with 7 of 9 standing right there. I mean, she's a Borg, or at least was.
How are we gonna take him out with these weapons? Species 8472 can regenerate pretty fast.
So this pretty much begins the part of the level that I thought was super fun. Probably because it was just a lot of combat and action, and the species 8472 are not immune to my hand phaser, so I actually can do something and move a little bit quicker than just letting the allies take care of everything for me. Oh, look at that, I'm so excited! I did something! Yay! There's really not a whole lot to comment on for this part of the level. I mean, it's a lot of basic just running around, running and gunning, backtracking, letting my allies block, and me doing my best not to get attacked. It was really fun though, so enjoy. If you'll notice, it's kind of funny, some of the allies actually put away their iMod and took out their compression rifle, which is kind of going to be annoying later on when we fight Borg again. I could be mistaken, but I remember reading that when the Voyager writers were thinking about a new enemy, they wanted species 8472 to be unique, and since CGI was brand new, they wanted to make a three-legged alien, because the way humans always had to be in the costumes, all the aliens always had two legs, like humans, so this was their chance to finally have something that could be truly unique. Looking back on the early episodes of Species 8472, the CGI is atrocious, but at the time, we thought it was super cool.
There's another one.
How many are there?
Species 8472 was in Star Trek Online a lot. For some reason, they gave them the name the Undine, which, I don't know, I never felt was necessary. Species 8472 was kind of a cool name and kind of mysterious, but whatever. That was probably the least awful thing that game did. One thing I really love about this zone is if you look around, there's all these messed up Borg drones, like arms and legs and just torsos, just laying around and sparking. Kind of a nice atmosphere they created here, showing how the Borg are completely defenseless against Species 8472. Man, when I was playing this, I was so excited that I could finally do damage and hurt enemies. You have no idea how thrilled I was.
Hold your fire.
How many are there?
I wasn't sure if my allies were actually invulnerable in this stage, so I didn't want to risk it. I wanted to kill the enemies as quickly as I could. I also had to be careful not to hit my teammates too much here. I didn't want to fail because I accidentally team killed them.
There's another one.
These legs are doing a cool little dance. Being a huge Star Trek fan, I spent a good portion of my childhood playing this game. In fact, I even played the multiplayer holodeck disintegration matches competitively in a league. The online multiplayer for this game was amazing when it was active. There were all sorts of cool modded game modes. One that was extremely unique was freeze tag. So this had two teams. Now if you died, you were frozen in place and would spectate until a teammate stood next to you without dying for like 3 seconds. The match would end when an entire team was frozen. It was a lot of fun, and I haven't really seen any other games that have something similar. The capture the flag was also a blast. One thing I'm noticing is that a lot of enemies are spawning behind you. I don't know if they do this on the easier difficulties, but it sure makes things interesting.
Keep down.
I was thinking about what other game modes they could have added that would have been fun. One idea I had would be something I like to call Tuvix mode. So basically, one player would be Tuvix. They would have extra health and armor, and they would run around, and every other player would be against them and try to kill them, just like in the episode. Basically, it would be a competition of who would last the longest or who could hide the best. I don't know, I thought that might be kind of interesting. Besides, I've never met a Star Trek fan who didn't immediately want to kill Tuvix. It's funny, as you play this, you kind of realize that the hand phaser really isn't that bad of a weapon. The damage output is pretty good, considering I'm vaporizing species 8472 in seconds. Don't you just love the little pitter-patter of their 3 legs? It's funny that for a species so technologically advanced, all they do is run around and try to slash you with their claws. Most of my phaser shots there seem to just hit the back of Drot's head.
Wait a minute. We negotiated. We had a deal.
Negotiation is irrelevant. You will be assimilated.
I knew it. Why does this not surprise me?
Oh, good thing the Borg were not advanced enough to detect a little hockey puck-sized bomb near their central processing core. Okay, so a couple problems in this room. There is nowhere for me to go to get out of range of those hit scan lightning attacks. Also, one of my allies is using the compression rifle, which is doing no damage. So, in every other run I've done in this game, ever in my entire life, I've always rescued Foster. I had no idea that he would transport in here and be a boss if you didn't rescue him. If I did know that, I probably would have tried a little harder to save him in my last video. It seems like he's going to be a serious problem since he is also adapted to my hand phaser. I guess I figured that if I hide here out of the AI pathing, maybe my allies would do enough damage to Foster to defeat him, but so far it doesn't seem like they're really doing anything to him. This got me worried that this might be the end of the run. Maybe the allies just are not capable of damaging him and only we can defeat him. If that were the case, basically the run would be over because there's no way for me to hurt him. So this video is about 40 minutes long. I really didn't expect it to be this long of a video, but there was kind of a lot to show, and I even cut out about 30 to 45 minutes of failed attempts. When I go back and watch the Mitten Squad videos, his are usually about 19 to 25 minutes long, which is like the perfect length. I'm just not as good as editing as he was to make it more concise while still entertaining. Of course, if you don't know who Mitten Squad is, he was a YouTuber who passed away. He did challenge run videos for Bethesda games like Fallout and Skyrim and others. He was a great influence, and a lot of these videos are kind of based on similar types of challenges that he would do. If you haven't seen his channel, check it out. It's pretty great. I was starting to get worried here that the drones would just spawn forever until Foster died, and if I was unable to hurt Foster, then this would never end. But we'll see what happens soon. You know what? I'm gonna try my little hiding behind the map trick here, see if I can get the AIs to just spam shots on him until he dies.
I'm sorry, Foster. Wish it didn't have to happen this way.
Kill me.
I'm sorry. I can't.
What?
En route to Voyager. We've recovered the isodesium and are ready to beam out.
Beam myself and the isodesium directly to engineering.
Acknowledged. Initiating transport.
Okay, so we did it. We beat the Borg cube level with only the hand phaser. I wasn't entirely sure it was possible, but I'm glad we made it through it. Now, if I remember correctly, we have the ship with all the robots next, and then we have the Forge. So I think there's 2 levels left in the game that we still have to complete. But so far, I'm excited that I've been able to do this challenge legitimately without cheating, and that we're getting close to the end. Alright, so I'll see you in part 6, I think, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.
I suggest you use it.